Hey, welcome to Security Clearance Podcast. My name's Blake. I have a mission statement here. I was told by one of my guests, Kara, that she would donate to a GoFundMe if I typed out a mission statement. So I did so. And I also started a GoFundMe with an itemized list. If you're my friend and in my cell phone, you might have got unsolicited text or solicited text. Most likely solicited. Yeah, I think I used the word right on that. So I have this. I'm begging for money on the internet like a professional. And I wonder if you can hear that. And I'm deploying to somewhere tomorrow. Let's just say it's not a chill deployment, and it might rhyme with area. So, yeah. Hopefully I come back. Hopefully this GoFundMe gets above, $45 that it already is. And I can put a little bit of effort into this thing. And, let me drink some courage here. We'll get started with this mission statement. All right, Security Clearance Podcast mission statement. The mission of this podcast is to give an honest insight into the military from multiple personal stories and perspectives of the people that tell them. It is best thought of as before and after, as we intend to interview people before a big event, pipeline, special school, deployment, boot camp, etc. It is opinion-based and biased, but it is meant to educate and help those that are contemplating serving our country and also serve as a hub for active and former service members to listen in. This podcast will also serve as a platform for individuals, myself included, to share their story and possibly advertise their own business, brand, podcast, social media, or general awareness of a specific cause. The opinions, stories, companies, and so on are not affiliated officially with the U.S. military. This podcast might contain falsities, embellishments, misremembered happenings, or purposefully skewed stories in order to protect privacy or mission security, but by no means do we intend to deceive, lie, or misrepresent anyone or anything. The doing so is condemned, and we believe it to be stolen valor, which we also believe strongly that it should be, if it is not, a misdemeanor or a felony in some cases. Talking about stolen valor. If we deem necessary, a correction, statement, retraction, or a follow-on video by the individual needs to be made, we will do so at our discretion, or we will take down the video or videos that fall into this category. The military is not a simple the military is not a simple place, so to speak. It is a vast and complex organism. It has its own culture, rules, laws, territory, foreign and domestic. It is extremely diverse, much like our stories and our subject matter. We will not limit or edit our speak or our subjects. We do see the purpose of bleeping or editing out things that might harm someone's career or be considered spillage of classified or sensitive information. We also might edit or bleep certain words that are not appropriate due to them being punishable under UCMJ as slander, derogatory, or unprofessional. Upon request, we will pull any podcast down if the individual asks to do so, due to it causing any harm to their livelihood or career. Security Clearance Podcast is a hobby that we hope will produce supplemental income in order to reinvest into equipment, hardware, and software to better its production. If Security Clearance Podcast ever takes off and becomes wildly successful, we will totally sell out and become the corporate consumer whores everyone aspires to be. Also, this will require an edit of our mission statement in order to plug our corporate sponsors and edit our speech for fear of losing money. Furthermore, this podcast will serve to educate ourselves as entrepreneurial. Furthermore, this podcast will serve to educate ourselves on entrepreneurial standpoint in the media, social media, technology, news, and current events, and just general how-to for startups and business. I think the context and the grammar is correct in that. I could be wrong, though. Lastly, we believe in free thinking. We believe you should not edit speech or take away the right for someone to be heard, whether their speech is flawed. We simply believe that the cure to hate speech is more speech. That being said, we do not suggest you use our opinions as facts, but we do highly suggest that you do your own research and form your own opinion. We want to give you tools and strategies on how to get the most out of the military by giving you information based on when we went through it. It's big. Time goes on and things change. Do diligence, do research, act on your own accord. Smoke them if you got them. Very respectfully, Security Clearance Podcast. If you've never watched my podcast before, if you don't know me or who I am, you're not a personal friend, which the 27 of y'all that are subscribed are. If you're starting with a clean slate, my name is Blake. I'm a dual service. I was in the military times. Dual service military personnel. My eyes probably red. I think I got something in it. Joined the Marine Corps in 09 to 13. I went on a float, 31st MEU, and then I went to Sangin, Afghanistan, which is a pretty hot zone when I went. Saw combat, did some gnarly shit. Got out, had an interesting life on the outside, did some nefarious things, and that might teeter my security clearance status, which is still pending, not officially denied yet. Then I decided to join the Navy to become a Navy SEAL. Ultimately unsuccessful because I rang out. Now I'm a Greenside Corpsman going with an infantry unit to a place not called area. I have insight. I'm a lower rank, but I have 7 years of service. I have years of service from 09 to 13, and I have years of service from 2018 to 2021. Yeah, that makes sense. I was adding up my years. I did, making sure it added up to 7, which it does. So I have insight. I talk to officers enlisted alike. I've never talked to a warrant officer on the podcast. And I'm just trying to gather stories. I want, people to reach out one day and ask, how does this scenario work? If I haven't figured it out or been through it myself, I'll try and find someone that does. And again, in here, it's not necessarily facts. Things change. Things are different regionally. Things are different, globally in the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, National Guard, Space Force. I don't have experience with all of it. I have experience with 2 sectors, Navy and Marine Corps, specifically corpsmen and infantry, and a teeny bit being a student in first phase of BUDS. But I plan on interviewing people that do have that information. And I want an honest insight, like I said here, because like this house I live in, Lincoln Military Housing, there's no info out there. None. There's no neighborhood tours. There's no house tour. You have to dig to get a virtual tour of the house. And even then, it's like, what am I really looking at? How hard is it to perceive a virtual tour of a place? I'm moving from Virginia to California, just rolling the dice that hopefully I get to be on a good street, have good neighbors, in a decent enough house that I'm almost forced to take because I can't afford to live out in town. So, yeah, if I can put up a video about Lincoln Military Housing, if I can put up a video about this base, that base, and it not be spillage, critical, classified, or sensitive material. I don't think critical was the right word in the beginning, but that's what I'm hoping to do here. So I have a GoFundMe. The link is in the description. If you can't donate or just don't want to donate, because honestly, I'm kind of that guy too, where it's like, man, you're fucking begging for money. Fuck off. I understand. What would be helpful is a like and subscribe, positive comment, negative comment. Really don't give a shit. Kind of do, but we say that. That would be helpful. $1 helps. I have it all listed out on the GoFundMe. I will be creating social medias to help push this. I leave tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm going to do that tonight or, have my wife do it. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Cheers. Is my eye super red? I bet you it is, and it's going to ruin this whole thing. That's pure grain alcohol, baby.